everyone. I want to thank you all for being here. We've got a very special person to recognize today. So all of you are important, but I do want to recognize the many elected officials who showed up to show their support to Wanda Moody. And I already see there's some new names that I haven't gotten, so don't move, everybody. Okay. All right, so in no particular order, I'll start with our current city council members, Vice Mayor Finbar Saunders, Councilman Andrew Roberto, Councilwoman Lauren Ryder. Are there other current council members? Okay, we have a former council, Joe Bailey and Larry Cox. We have two former mayors, Victor Ash and Randy Tyree. Of course, we have Congressman Tim Burchett, who's here with us. We have county commissioners. We have the chair, Hugh Nystrom, Randy Smith, Carson Daly, and Justin Biggs. Thank you all for being here. Also, Michelle Carringer and Evelyn Gill. We have a past county commissioner, somebody we served with, John Grease. John Grease is here. Where's John? Oh, he might have had to leave, but he was here. Yeah, he was here though. Also, Senator Becky Duncan Massey, thank you for being here. We have our former county executive and former trustee, Tommy Shumpert. Where'd Tommy go? He was here somewhere, back there, Tommy.
Trying to get to the golf course.
And we have a former school board member, Brian Hornback. Thank you for being here. Did I miss? Ed Schaus, former commissioner, former council member, and our trustee. And Mike Prince. Where's Mike Prince?
Hey, he's former school board.
And Sherry Witt. Okay, y'all. John Schoonmaker. Everybody who is not an elected official, please raise your hand. We have our former school board member, India Kincannon. Who else? Wanda, you have a lot of friends. A lot of friends in office too. All right. Did I miss anybody? Thank you all so much for being here. So several months ago, I got a letter from Congressman Burchett who requested that the Winston Road Bridge Overpass be named in honor of Wanda Moody, a former county commissioner and public educator. So I thought immediately, we talked, I said that was a wonderful idea because I had the privilege of serving with Wanda for my 8 years. She actually served 20 years, I believe, on county commission. So I, without hesitation, sent the request on to our Public Property Naming Committee, which is led by Councilwoman Lauren Ryder. They met, and I don't think they had a problem at all. There's Lauren right there.
We were delighted.
They were delighted to fulfill this request. So, I know that Wanda's life of public and community service has really earned her this recognition. Wanda served with distinction on County Commission from 1986 to 2006. Given her long career in public education, she also was selected by former governor and our senator, U.S. Senator Lamar Alexander, to serve on the State of Tennessee Board of Education. So I have many good memories of serving with Wanda. Some of them we probably publicly can't speak. They'll be published after our deaths. But she was tough, So Wanda was the third woman ever elected to county commission, and it was Mary Lou and Bee who both came on, if I got all my dates right, in 1976. So they were the first two. That's when we had 19 people on commission. So it was Mary Lou and Bee with 17 guys on county commission, and then 10 years later, Wanda joined them. So 1986. Is that right? Got that right? So, and then I came on 4 years later. So we had 4 women out of the 19. And then 4 years later, we had 2 more women come on, and that was Pat Medley and Diane Jordan. So at one time, Sherry, you remember this? One time there were 6 women out of the 19. We're down now to 2 women out of 11. So women, we need to build those numbers back up. No offense to any of the current males on county commission. But back then, so I sat next to Wanda for 7 of those 8 years. We were just reminiscing on that. She was vice chair for a year. So, but other than that, I was 2nd district, she was 3rd district, and we sat next to each other. And I learned a lot from Wanda Moody, being a new person coming on. She had the 4 years experience already, and Wanda was tough. Y'all remember Wanda, right? She was tough, she was fair, she wasn't afraid of a fight, if that's what it needed to be. She didn't look for it, but she, I think she might have sued or been sued by a former sheriff. She wasn't afraid to take on what was needed to be taken on, to make the change that we really needed to make our county a better place, to make commission, to make sure that we were doing things the right way. And she wasn't afraid to speak her mind on that. And I've always admired Wanda Moody. Sometimes we may have been on opposite sides. I don't think all that often. But we always respected Wanda Moody and the way she served on county commission and the leadership that she showed, particularly to women, to get involved in local government, and that you can run, you can get elected, and you can serve well with the excellent men on our legislative bodies as well. So without further ado, I want to introduce our Congressman, Tim Burchett.
Thanks, Madeline. I realize how hot it is, and I'll be very brief. Did anybody not get it introduced that's an elected official?
Share.
Former State Rep Sandra Clark.
Former State Rep Sandra Clark, right over there. That's right. Sherry, we got Sherry. We did Sherry. We'll introduce Sherry Witt. Thank you for being here.
Mike, get your mic closer.
Oh.
Here.
On the House floor, you hit a button and it just comes up out of the floor.
We're not that fancy in Knox County yet, Tim.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor Rogero, for that assist. Yes, I appreciate it. That's just bipartisan help that we've grown to expect from you, so thank you. But I'm honored today. I've got some notes, and I'm going to skip off them, as you all know. I'll do that pretty quick. But I'm honored today to dedicate this bridge at Overpass in honor of my dear friend Wanda Moody, my lifelong friend Wanda Moody, for her continued service to our country and our community. I've got a couple of stories. One is a fella that wanted to be here but couldn't, and I won't mention his name. He'd had a stroke and had to be at the doctor today, but he's on the mend. But I remember one time we were at an event, and he looked over and said, "Is that Wanda Moody?" And I said, "Why, yes, it is." And he said, "I owe her everything." And I thought, man, that must have been a big vote on commission that month. I didn't know what it was about, but she said he was a young boy and he was in a broken home, and we've all heard the horror stories that brings on, and his was pretty bad. And he'd fallen in his house and bit his tongue almost in two. Well, the doctors were able to sew it back on, but you know as well as I do, as a young person, they're pretty rough on kids, and he talked with a severe lisp, and he said that Wanda Moody had taught him and retaught him how to speak. And that man today his son is one of my best friends, and that man went on to raise a family that wasn't even his, and because of Wanda Moody's interjection into that young man's life, he's now a very successful business person, a grandparent, and just a wonderful person. But that tells you something about what Wanda Moody is. But my favorite story about Wanda actually happened right over this bridge. It was election day, the very first election year that I was running, and nobody thought I was going to win. If you raise your hand and you thought I was winning, you're probably telling a big fat one right now. But I was coming over the bridge, and I just worked Bearden High School. I was dehydrated, and we'd lost Bearden High School by 12 votes. And I called Wanda, and I said, "Wanda, I want to thank you for everything, but I don't think we're successful." And she said, "How bad did you lose Bearden High School?" I said, "We lost it by 12 votes." She said, "Get home, get a shower. You've won this thing." And Wanda, that tells you about Wanda. She knew the district, she knew the people, and she knew she knew where the votes were. And I would not be standing here today as your congressman if it wasn't for Wanda Moody. I can honestly tell you that. She played a very important role in my life. She's still the only person that I allow to call me Timmy, and because she knew me when I was Timmy. But yeah, she calls me Timbo. But as Mayor O'Hara mentioned, Wanda served many years as our county commissioner. And like my parents, she was a lifelong educator who dedicated her career to improving the lives of children across our community. Not only did she teach in the classroom, but she served in Tennessee Department of Education under Governor Lamar Alexander. Whenever I run into Lamar, we ride on the same plane sometimes, and I'll see him in the halls, and he'll he'll mention Wanda and the work that she did for him and our state. And Senator Alexander couldn't be here today, but he asked me that I read this letter to y'all. And it says, "Dear Wanda, congratulations on the dedication of the Winston Road Bridge in your honor. You have worked tirelessly for all the citizens of Knoxville, and this recognition is well deserved. Very best wishes, sincerely, Lamar Alexander." And that letter will be get to you in the mail shortly. I just had a copy of it. But this dedication is well deserved because of your ties to the West Hills neighborhood. A lot of y'all don't know this, but Wanda's family really founded this area. She is the only, I'm pretty sure she's the only living person that actually really did run cows down Middlebrook Pike. And that's not code for anything. That's those four-legged creatures that we're trying to outlaw in Washington. She really did run cows down Middlebrook Pike. She was here before the interstate was here. I guess Kingston Pike was built pretty much during the Civil War, so I don't think you quite got back that far, so we're good. As I like to say, Wanda Moody's family ran the Cro-Magnons off this property when she started. And I want to thank you for your life and your service, and congratulations. And I want to read you a text. My wife and daughter are here. They didn't get introduced. They're back there by one of my best friends, Les Gibbs, who's a fireman who wanted to be here. But Kelly and Isabel are back there. And y'all clap for them while I look for this text real quick. And this is a text my wife sent to me this morning. I didn't have her permission, so I might be on the couch tonight. But I'd sent her a message, and I told her, this is the way you do it now. You text your wife, and you tell her you love her and thank her. And I thanked her for being, I knew she was going to be here, and I told her it meant a lot to me, and I'm sure it'll mean a lot more to Wanda. And she said she loves me. She said some really sweet things. I'll just keep that between us. But she said she was happy to celebrate someone who's believed in you from the word go. And that pretty much sums it up, Wanda. You believed in me from the word go, and I would not be standing here as your United States Congressman if it hadn't been for Wanda Moody. So if you got any hate mail, send it to Wanda. Don't send it to me. With that, I've talked too long. It's way too hot, and Wanda's always telling me to keep it brief. So with that, I'll turn it over to our county commissioner, former county commissioner, and my lifelong friend, and the only woman who calls me Timmy and doesn't mean it disrespectful, and that is my dear friend, Wanda Moody.
Well, thank you, Congressman, and thank you, Mayor. I appreciate both of you being here, and I especially appreciate all the other folks who are here, many of the former office holders that I worked with over the years. I just really appreciate this. This certainly is an honor that this is being given today about the bridge. You know, I grew up in West Hills. I grew up in the part of West Hills over near Middlebrook Pike, and lived on Broom Road, and of course continue to live on Broom Road. My mother and father both lived on Broom Road until they each died. So I'm quite familiar with the area and know how important this bridge is. Because when I was younger, growing up, we had a hard time getting from that side of the interstate to this side of Kingston Pike. And because there was no bridge, there was no road for us to be able to do that. So we kind of wound around and finally made our way. So it was great having this opportunity. And I'm not going to take any more time telling stories about both Madeline and Tim, because you've heard from both of them, and I think you know what a good job they do and how important their job is to this community. And again, how important the Winston Road Bridge is to this community. It really makes a big difference in the lives of you and many others in Knoxville. So thank you again. I appreciate it, and good to see all of you. Thank you.